For our reading assignments today, we have our Think Central Journeys Lesson 28 assignment. Some of our questions are going to ask us about our story of Frog and Toad, the kite. I thought it would be a good idea to reread the story before taking your Think Central questions. We read the story on Monday and Tuesday, but to review it one more time before we answer comprehension questions about it is a good idea. So this is going to be a short video to reread the kite story of Frog and Toad. Then you will log on to Think Central to answer your Journeys Lesson 28 questions. Our essential question for this story is, how can weather change your day? Be thinking about this essential question as we're reading through our story. Let's begin reading The Kite from Days with Frog and Toad by Arnold Lobel. Frog and Toad went to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong. "Our kite will fly up and up," said Frog. "It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky." "Toad," said Frog, "I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run." Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short legs could carry him. The kite went up in the air. It fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush. "That kite will not fly," said the robins. "You may as well give up." Toad ran back to Frog. "Frog," said Toad, "this kite will not fly. I give up." What problem do Frog and Toad have? Well, their problem is they are wanting to fly the kite, but the kite will not fly. What does Toad want to do about this problem? Toad listens to the robins and he says he wants to give up. Let's see what happens next. "We must make a second try," said Frog. "Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly." Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. At first, they could not get the kite to fly. But then, Frog wants to try again by trying something new. He tells Toad to wave the kite over his head. Toad ran across the meadow and waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air and then fell down with a thud. "What a joke," said the robins. "That kite will never get off the ground." "We have to make a third try," said Frog. "Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly." Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed down into the grass. "That kite is junk," said the robins. "Throw it away and go home." Toad ran back to Frog. "This kite is junk," he said. "I think we should throw it away and go home." "Toad," said Frog, "we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head. Jump up and down and shout, 'Up, kite, up!'" Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. He shouted, "Up, kite, up!" The kite flew into the air. It climbed higher and higher. "We did it!" cried Toad. "Yes," said Frog. "If a running try did not work, a running and waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work. I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work." The robins flew out of the bush, but they could not fly as high as the kite. Frog and Toad sat and watched their kite. It seemed to be flying way up at the top of the sky. We can see here in our picture that Frog and Toad have a big smile on their face. I think that they are feeling happy because their kite is finally flying in the sky. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of hard work. This goes to show that not everything we want happens on the first try. Sometimes it takes a lot of hard work and trying over and over again until it finally happens. I really enjoyed getting to read this story of Frog and Toad. Please log on to Think Central to answer your Journeys Lesson 28 questions. This assignment will be due by the end of the day. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you later for your reading intervention groups.